Well, hey there everybody. I want to thank you for joining me here today. I am JT Bear and you have found yourself on Bear Family Farms. Today I've got to do a little chicken coop maintenance because frankly, I'm sick and tired of getting locked in the chicken coop. It is, well frankly, it's embarrassing to think of the fact that I have to potentially call into the house to get rescued from the hen house. So yeah, gotta fix that. And we haven't done a health check on the chickens in a while, so I thought it might be kind of fun. Take a look at the ladies and see how they're doing. All right, let's go. So lots of fun here. I mean, I've got an exterior lock on here. This is not the problem. Got a door handle on here. This half is not the problem. Hello, ladies. This half, on the other hand, came disconnected quite some time ago, and I don't particularly feel like throwing a new doorknob on there. So I'm basically just going to cover that up with a steel plate so I don't have to get, well, locked in here anymore. But I got this scraper in here that I've been using to get rid of stuck on chicken poops, kind of like those ones there, and I've been using that to break out when I need to. Oh, the contrast in this video is going to be hell for you guys. I do apologize for that. Anyway, so I'm going to cover that up today and hang out with the hens for a little bit. Alright, so since I seem to have forgotten the screws I need to mount this thing, I'm just going to leave you with Bunty there, and she's out of here. Looks like she and Patches are both going to exit stage left. Alright, well I'll be back in a second then. So I was just going to put it over this little plate here, but turns out I kind of need to pull it off. I've got this here. I'm not quite sure why it ended up coming home with me from the shop one day, but it did. So at least now it has a purpose. Where do you think you're going? You don't want to come out here, Bunty. You see all this white stuff? You do not want to come out here. Scoot, make way for the human. Oh, that's cute. Yeah. Scoot. No? Well, you're a friendly chicken, aren't you? Yeah. Alright, so now that leaves us with the fairly obvious and glaring issue of it's not going to latch. But that's exactly what I need. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this, where'd it go? I have my hanger hook here. And that's not going to get latched while I'm inside, is it? Nice easy pull. Yes, hello Bunty. Always at the door. Scoot, sweetie. So now that that's taken care of and I don't have to worry about getting locked in, as Bunty moves away, we can see how well Patches is done with her feather recovery. She looks absolutely fabulous these days. Yes, and you have a beautiful singing voice, it's true. I think she is the gentlest voice of these four hens. But, you know, throughout the cold of the winter, this is how she's spending most of her time. Kind of bunkered into a corner, unless it's particularly sunny out and blasting through into their chicken run, in which case all four of them are happily hanging out there. But let's change the camera angle a little. Patches, is there anything you want to say to the people? There's Bunty in the background. Anyway, so far she has yet to go back to laying eggs. She did give us a few when she first moved in, but yeah, nothing really since then. Bunty here is by far, yeah, you know your name, don't you? Yeah. Bunty here is by far the most consistent performing chicken. Shy of 1 day, she has given us an egg every single morning. And it's always first thing in the morning. She is wonderfully consistent. Yeah, you're a sweetheart. She seems to be really fond of Shocks. Every time Shocks comes out, she's got this particularly, I don't know, I find it quite amusing way of calling the chickens. And Bunty will come and run right up to her and squat. And yeah, that squat is in theory because she's prepared to be mounted by a rooster, but they've got to know by now there are no roosters here and that they will get pet. So I'm thinking they've learned that squatting down like that kind of means they're getting pet. And Bunty here really does run right up for the attention. So that is, it's really cool. The side effects of having chickens, you know, I never really considered, but they are just They're delightful little creatures, and they are so personable. Actually, while we're here, taking a look at the water bowl, we can see, got some crystallizing going on the edge there, but that kind of just seems to be from the water vapor going up and then hitting the colder parts of the bowl and freezing again. So far, as you know, you looking down, she's taking a drink. That is still liquid water in the bottom of that. I did take Brother Trollforge's advice, and I moved it into the coop, out of the minus ridiculously cold winds that we get. Granted, the run out front is mostly enclosed, but it's still a little bit colder out there than it is in here. So hopefully this thing will at least see us through the winter, or until I can get a little 25-watt aquarium heater to put back in the pail. I have a friend in town gave us a couple of 100 watters, but that just seems so excessive. Don't really want to be pulling that much power. Anyway, so here are the browns. So far so good. Looks like the Betties must be out in the play area, so we'll go check on them in a minute. Okay, well, looks like before I headed out, little Betty White has decided to rejoin us here in the coop. So that gives us a good opportunity to look at her. She has fluffed up and filled in so nicely, and her tail has gotten to be so long. It's really very impressive. Now the whites have gotten back into the habit of laying, it seems like they're laying every other day, or one of them is laying every day. It's kind of hard to tell, but occasionally there are very soft-shelled eggs. One recently was deposited that seemed to have no shell at all, so I don't know what's up with that. But some of the eggs that we're getting are absolutely massive, like easily twice the size of the little ones that Bunty lays here. And I think those are actually coming from the other Betty, because otherwise the eggs they're large consistently, but they're not like ridiculously, you know, gigantic. Whereas, yeah, the occasional eggs are massive. So I think she's getting better, but I don't know if she's ever going to fully recover. I mean, these ladies were being replaced, so I don't expect them to necessarily keep laying forever, which is, you know, probably why Patches here is done. But she looks so much healthier since she's been here. So anyway, so this is Betty White. So far it's still easy enough to tell them apart, because this particular Betty, her tail came back faster, and in general she just keeps herself much, much cleaner. Much more hygienic little bird. So that is Betty White. Now we need to go find Betty Boop. I guess she's still out in the coop. Betty Coop at the moment. And then if we come out into the coop and look behind the pallets, we can find little Betty. Well, she was Betty Poop, but as she's getting better, I'm switching that up to Boop. Looking much cleaner than she was. Her tail is starting to fill in a little bit as well. But I noticed this morning that her underside on the back end there seems a little, well, frozen and messy. I think she is the one who is occasionally laying soft-shelled and unshelled eggs, and I kind of think she sat in one last night and it froze to her butt. I haven't seen her this afternoon because she's been hiding here all day, but eventually she'll come out of there and I can take another look at her. But even, you know, her, and she's the roughest looking of them all, I think. She's come so far since these hens have been here, and it's just really, really nice to see, well, what a little love can do for some livestock, you know? Clearly she's still got some social issues, though. Alright, well, it is minus 20-something Celsius out here today, so I really need to get my butt back in the house. Well, actually, my butt's fine. I need to get my hands back in the house. They're getting a little on the red side, a little hard to grip at things. So I'm going to wrap it up, say thank you all so much for joining me here today on Bear Family Farms. And, yeah, I hope you have a fantastic New Year's ahead. We'll be getting back to it after January 1st, I imagine. Take care, everybody.